Hello, viewers. I'm Vibhuti Jha. This is Jaipur Dialogue USA, and I'm coming to you, reaching out to you with a message. Before I start, I request you to please like, subscribe, and support our channel, and give your feedback. We value them a lot, and I mean it. Uh, Today, I wanted to talk about few news items that have emanated regarding India in this part of the world, in America. As an American, and as a former Indian citizen, today I'm American citizen. I'm an Indian American. I'm a Hindu American. To be proudly say that whatever happens in these two countries is directly impacting all of us. I have for a very long time believed, that India and the United States, and I have said it many times, these are the two of the world's most prominent democracies. I do not make a distinction between the size, age, or whatever, but the significant factor is that these two countries are the world's two most prominent democracies. People look up to both the countries for their own good reasons. America for its huge successes as a superpower of the world, India as a massive upcoming country, growing country with ambition and desire to become big. Both these countries have another very important commonality is the massive diversity that exists. And as my favorite satirist P.J. O'Rourke had said once, that America will have forever a difficult foreign policy agenda or immigration policy because everybody is a foreigner here. In India, because we are truly the world's most diverse country ever to exist, with reference to culture, traditions, food habits, language, and the way we wear our clothes, the way we talk, the way our English language is designed. From Bihari to Keralite to Rajasthani to everybody, we speak English differently with different intonations. Having said that, what is important here is that over a period in time, American government have been always saying that India is a country which is our strategic ally or a natural partner. Yes, we have tremendous commonality, but in reality, both these countries have been walking rather dangerous paths of collision. Fortunately, there has not been a collision, but there has always been an element of mistrust between the two countries. And that element of mistrust steps up into another direction. I will talk about only two incidents. We all know this is something which I had said in 2020 in one of the programs that I did here. And I said that the Karama, the leftist, Islamist, communist, Marxist, aided and abetted by the what my favorite phrase is, the global elitists who are James Bond megalomaniac billionaires, who are using these elements to somewhere along the line try to upend India, disturb India, and prevent India's growth to its natural status. It has specifically become even more significant and stringent ever since Prime Minister Modi took the power in the year 2014. It was as if all hell has broken loose, and oh my God, the Hindu guys are going to be a nuisance for the rest of the people. In 2020, I had said, and I repeat today, and I've said this many times, that these elements that I referred to earlier on, they will do whatever it takes to ensure breakup of India, hit India where it doesn't deserve to be hit, and continue to roil India into conflicts and conflicts and conflicts, leading to social disorder and economic problems. So think about it. I had said this and I say this again, that Prime Minister Modi, as a Karma Yogi, has been committed to lifting India from the morass of what the Congress government had brought India into in every aspect of life. He was trying to change India. He is trying to change India. Give him credit, whether you agree with him, whether you like him or not, doesn't matter. He is committed to doing that. And he is finding it difficult to do that, not because of external factors, but forces within, enemies within, who do not want that to happen. So I said, and I repeat, that whether he was to bring about a change in the economic development of India, political development of India, or social order in India, and India needs them all. In every sector, we need phenomenal amount of changes if we have the ambition to become a superpower in the years to come. I said that the toolkit operators, remember Greta Thunberg, whose famous tweet that went out, which talked about the toolkit operation? Thank you, Greta, for your mistake. We benefited a lot. As I always say, every disaster is an opportunity. We got to know the specific term or toolkit operators. Now we are seeing today that America is part of the toolkit operation. So it seems. Unfortunately, we live here and we are totally struck by the fact that we are the most prosperous community in this country is taken for granted, and both political parties, especially Democrat, Republicans, no, not as much as I would know, other than the religious element of this the very powerful extreme right evangelicals who are on the religious grounds against India because it doesn't match in terms of the religious freedom element. I will come to that in a second. The point is, Democratic Party has always been nudging India. They do a very clever dance. There will be a dance of fun and frolic or paying a compliment to India one way or the other, and then actually being very insidious in their efforts to hurt India. Two incidents come out in mind. The toolkit operation to append Mr. Modi and defeat Mr. Modi did not succeed in the 2024 elections. Now the plan B is in motion. We all know now the Bangladesh story. We know how the Sheikh Hasina's government was overthrown. We know now, and these are on record. I'm just reminding you of that from Kapil Sibal to variety of Congress people all have said that what happened in Bangladesh can happen to Modi as well, specifically naming Modi. It can happen in India as well. We all know that. They have said it. Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi have called upon. You remember the famous statement that bilkul aag laga denge, aag lagegi. Sonia Gandhi had told the youth to come out on the streets and demand their rights. What is it that you see here? Now we have noticed that Bangladesh type of thing going on in India as well. Since the toolkit operation failed in 2024 election, now the US administration, somewhere along the line, is not playing honest. Let's forget about the use of word honest. They're playing hooky with India. Now you are seeing the Consul General of American Consul General goes and meets OIC in the name of understanding the problems. We know that Eric Garcetti, the Honorable Ambassador, who is more of a political tool than anything else, is sanctioned a budget of $150,000 to train people to talk about freedoms and religious elements in India, in Northeast particularly. He was giving that, and he hired an absolute India hater to organize those elements. We know this, that New York Times had advertised a few years ago to hire reporters from India who could specifically be anti-Modi, anti-Hindu, anti-India. These are all out in the open. This is not the figment of imagination of mine sitting here in front of TV today. This is all on record. And remember that every single economic effort that Prime Minister Modi initiated has met with resistance by some group who is unhappy. As it happens, any change that happens, we know that as a way of life. Any change that you want to make, it will not affect everybody equally well. Some people will be affected adversely because everybody has to accommodate the change because change doesn't happen equally. The entire equity and equality concept of Democratic Party in America is a hogwash, in my opinion, because we are all different. Look around yourself, look around the world itself, and then you will find that no individual is alike. Whether you are in a socialist country, communist country, people are different. in their abilities, in their talent, in their ability to do things in every sense of the term. And if you do not accept and respect individual differences, all talk of equity and equality is a hogwash. Back to the same thing. Now you are looking at the American embassy people going to Kashmir, meeting Abdullah and others to understand the plight of Kashmiris. Now, in all fairness to the situation, we do not know what all the dialogue is all about, what has transpired between the diplomats and the specific leaders, whether it's Owaisi or Abdullah, what has actually transpired. But on the face of it, we are little apprehensive about the entire conversation, considering what happened in Bangladesh, considering what UPA people or Indie Alliance people have said in India. Is United States trying to do a regime change in India, having failed to enforce it through a democratic process in election? Therefore, I have said it before and I'll say it again. All those people who voted NDA back to power, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. And I want to tell those people who did not vote, who had voted, who were annoyed with Modi for one reason or the other, who were annoyed with BJP for one reason or the other. Are you happy to have put the country into such a dilemma? Are you happy? Would you have been happier if Prime Minister Modi had got the majority that he wanted? So now look at it this way. There was a particular guy called Twitter handle called Times Algebra. Times Algebra had said that youth people had responded by saying that they were unhappy with the call of Hindutva that BJP was associated with, and also the fact that Prime Minister was being arrogant in asking for 400 seats. That was not arrogance, that's ambitious speak. Why not? If I have done well for the country, why wouldn't I expect people to do a favorable return? That's what will allow me to do more things. That's where the nature of democracy is. And those people who were those youth who were talking about Hindutva agenda of the BJP, I want to ask you, how many times you guys who particularly objected to that, and I'm asking this question to every youth in America, England, wherever you are, when you are smitten by, and you say that where is the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam thing, think about it. Have you ever raised a voice against the atrocities by other groups? Have you ever raised the voice for atrocities committed against Hindus? Have you ever raised the voice of religious intolerance practiced by several groups? Perhaps no, because you didn't have the guts to do that. Because you know if you do it, you will be a victim and you will be victimized and you will be chastised. In a world run by leftist media, they immediately pick on you and I. So my point is very simple here. It appears that Prime Minister Modi is in risk. He is doing everything that is possible. We do not know his constraints that he is operating under, starting from the constraints within the bureaucracy and the political parties, the way they are trying to incite Indian people for one reason or the other. The foreign forces, they are taking advantage of that situation to ignite fire. Don't be surprised that if on the Waqf board matter, which is, plainly ridiculous to have brought in, Congress party did that, their leaders did it at that time, that they can claim a city, a village, a town, or a temple as it was their property. That is the power given to Waqf board. My suspicion and fear is that when the Waqf board amendments which the Prime Minister has proposed, be prepared. The Hamas type sympathizers suddenly appearing in India to do a street war. You know the power of government is restricted, though it has immense power, but it doesn't have so much power that it can subjugate people. Indira Gandhi brought emergency to protect her chair and gave the rationale and reasoning to curtail foreign interference, internal disturbance, and for economic development. Think about it. Those are the three situations existing in India today and for Indians globally, because it affects our lives too. And as an American, I am saying play politics, but do not disrupt other countries' governance because what goes comes around. I'm reminded of a conversation that I had with a few congressmen here way back when I came here, sometime around 1995 96. I was asked by a congressman that why don't you give away Khalistan to Khalistanis and Kashmir to Pakistan and you will live happily ever after? And I asked him, it's my style. That's who I am. I asked him, would you, and I said this, would you allow black people to assemble in one state and claim that state as their own country within the country because they are always treated badly by the white Americans, as they always say? Would you allow Hawaii and Hawaii and Alaska to become independent? Would you allow tomorrow if the Latinos of California and Texas get together and they say that we want to return to our original homeland, would you let it happen? He said no. I said, why are you interfering in Indian affairs then? Shouldn't you, as mustn't you, as a democracy, as a way of life, support somebody you call a natural ally and a strategic partner? These are questions that have happened over a period in time. And I would urge that United States government, particularly this administration, which has become rather vicious in its anti-India stand, which seems to have emanated from significant influence in this administration, not to do so, because it will permanently rupture the relationship. Sometimes you cannot, subjugate somebody to accepting something. Slavery was bad and it's gone. You cannot subjugate a rising population, a rising group of people, a country like India. Make it your partner, be your natural ally, make it your partner in real terms. And that's where the prosperity of democracy will be all about. It's not about freedom for me, not for you. If freedom of religion exists for you, it exists for me too. Equality and equity means only when you accept individual differences and respect individual differences. Thank you very much. As I always say, Satyamev Jayate, let's fight for the truth. Let's fight for the truth. Let's stand for the truth. Thank you very much.